You think growth hacking and blitzscaling are how you dominate a market? Wrong. Those strategies create fast companies that die faster. Japanese entrepreneurs have been building empires for centuries using 5 techniques that Western business schools ignore, not because they don't work, but because they require patience, discipline, and a perspective that goes beyond quarterly earnings. These aren't motivational concepts. They're tactical systems that, when applied correctly, create businesses so dominant that competitors can't even understand how they're losing. Let me show you what Silicon Valley refuses to teach. The first technique is Kaizen. You've probably heard the word. Most people think it means continuous improvement. They're half right. Kaizen means improving one every single day in every single process, compounding those micro improvements until the gap between you and your competition becomes insurmountable. Western companies try to 10x their results overnight. Japanese companies won their way to 10x over 3 years, and by the time competitors notice, the gap is too wide to close. Here's how this actually works in business. Toyota didn't beat American car manufacturers by building a better car on day one. They beat them by making their production process one more efficient every single week for 30 years. While Ford and GM were focused on annual model redesigns and marketing campaigns, Toyota was obsessing over reducing the time it took to change a stamping die from 4 hours to 3 minutes. That single Kaizen improvement, repeated across every process in the factory, created a cost advantage so massive that American companies couldn't compete even when they copied the techniques. Because they copied the technique, not the mentality. Kaizen isn't a one-time process improvement. It's a cultural religion that says nothing is ever good enough, and every employee is empowered to make it one better today than it was yesterday. Most entrepreneurs treat business improvement like New Year's resolutions. They want to overhaul everything at once. New branding, new product line, new marketing strategy, new team structure, all in Q1, and by Q2, they're exhausted, and nothing stuck. Kaizen says the opposite. Identify one tiny inefficiency. Fix it. Tomorrow, identify another. Fix it. Repeat for 5 years. You won't feel like you're winning. Your competitors won't notice you're winning. But the compounding effect of one daily improvements over 1825 days is a 5,400 improvement. You become untouchable, and nobody knows how it happened. Here's how you apply Kaizen to your business right now. Pick one process, not 10. 1. Customer onboarding, sales follow-up, product delivery, support response time. Pick one with. Now ask yourself, what's one thing I can improve by 1 this week? Not revolutionize. Improve by 1. Maybe it's cutting your email response time from 4 hours to 3 hours and 45 minutes. Maybe it's adding 1 extra line to your onboarding email that reduces confusion. Maybe it's tweaking your checkout flow so 1 less person abandons their cart. Implement that 1 improvement. Next week, find another one. In 6 months, your competitors will be trying to figure out why your conversion rate is double theirs. And you won't even remember which specific change did it, because it was all of them compounding. The second technique is Ikigai. Most people translate this as reason for being or life purpose, and they use it for self-help journaling. Japanese entrepreneurs use it as a strategic filter for every business decision. Ikigai is the intersection of 4 questions. What do you love? What are you good at? What does the world need? What can you be paid for? If a business decision doesn't sit in the center of those 4 circles, it's a distraction, and you don't do it. Western entrepreneurs chase every shiny opportunity. Japanese entrepreneurs use Ikigai to say no to 99 of opportunities so they can dominate the one that matters. Let me show you what this looks like. Jiro Ono runs a sushi restaurant in a Tokyo subway station. It has 10 seats. He's been making sushi for 75 years. He is the only 3 Michelin star restaurant that serves one thing: sushi, in one location, 10 seats, with a months-long wait list. Jiro could have expanded. He could have franchised. He could have launched a product line. Every Western business advisor would have told him to scale. But Jiro's Ikigai is making the best sushi in the world. Not the most profitable sushi. Not the most famous sushi. The best sushi. That sits at the intersection of what he loves, what he's good at, what the world needs, and what he can be paid for. Everything outside that intersection is noise. So he ignored it. And now he's a legend while restaurants that scaled to 50 locations went bankrupt. Most entrepreneurs fail because they're addicted to opportunity. A new market opens, they pivot. A competitor launches a feature, they copy it. A trend goes viral, they chase it. They have no Ikigai. So every direction looks equally valid. And they end up scattered, mediocre, at 10 things instead of dominant at one. Ikigai forces you to be ruthlessly selective. It's not about doing more. It's about doing less, but doing it so well that you become irreplaceable. That's how you dominate a market. Not by being everywhere. By being the undisputed best at one specific thing that matters. Here's how to apply Ikigai to your business. Draw 4 circles. Label them what you love, what you're great at, what the market needs, and what people will pay for. Now list every project, product, and initiative your business is currently working on. Cross out anything that doesn't sit in the center where all 4 circles overlap. Yes, even if it's generating revenue. Because revenue from outside your Ikigai is a trap. It distracts you from becoming dominant in your actual zone of genius, and it turns you into a commodity. The goal isn't to make money doing everything. The goal is to make so much money doing one thing that you never have to do anything else. The third technique is Mottainai. The word roughly translates to what a waste, but it's deeper than that. It's a cultural aversion to wasting anything of value. Time, resources, talent, opportunities, potentially. Japanese entrepreneurs treat waste like a moral failing, and they've built entire business models around eliminating it. While Western startups burn through millions in venture capital on office perks and growth experiments, Japanese companies are extracting value from every yen, every minute, and every employee skill. That efficiency creates profit margins that make competition impossible. Look at Muji. The entire brand is built on Mottainai. The name literally means no brand quality goods. They don't waste money on advertising, flashy packaging, or celebrity endorsements. They don't waste materials on unnecessary product features. They don't waste customer attention on choice overload. They sell simple, functional, well-made products with minimal waste, and they've built a global empire doing it. No waste in production, no waste in marketing, no waste in the customer experience. Pure efficiency. And because they eliminate waste at every level, they can offer better quality at lower prices than competitors who are burning money on things that don't matter. Most entrepreneurs waste 80 of their resources on things that generate 20 of their results. They waste time in meetings that could be emails. They waste money on tools they don't use. They waste talent by having a players doing C-level work. They waste opportunities by starting projects they never finish. Mottainai says, stop. Every resource you have, time, money, people, attention, is sacred. If you're not extracting maximum value from it, you're losing. And your competitors who practice Mottainai are going to crush you with half your budget. Here's how to apply Mottainai. Audit your business for waste. Not someday, today. Look at your software subscriptions. How many are you paying for but not using? Cancel them. Look at your team's calendar. How many meetings could be a Slack message? Kill them. Look at your product features. How many are complexity that customers don't value? Remove them. Look at your marketing spend. How much is going to channels that don't convert? Reallocate it. Mottainai isn't about being cheap. It's about treating every resource like it's scarce and sacred, because it is. The entrepreneurs who win are the ones who create twice the value with half the waste. The fourth technique is Shokunin. It translates to craftsman, but in Japanese culture, it means something much deeper. It's the relentless, obsessive pursuit of mastery in your craft, to the point where your work becomes art. Shokunin isn't about hitting good enough. It's about perfecting every detail, even the ones customers will never notice, because your pride as a craftsman demands it. Japanese entrepreneurs with Shokunin mentality build products so good that customers become evangelists. They don't need marketing. The product markets itself because the quality is undeniable. Let me tell you about a Japanese knife maker named Takashi. He makes kitchen knives by hand. Each knife takes him 60 hours to complete. He could use machines and make 50 knives in the same time. He could outsource and scale, but he doesn't, because a shokunin means you don't compromise the craft for profit. You perfect the craft, and the profit follows. Takeshi's knives cost 3,000 each. He has a 2-year wait list. Chefs around the world consider his knives the best in the world. Not because he marketed them, because he made them better than anyone else was willing to. That's Shokunin. That's what happens when you refuse to cut corners. Most entrepreneurs are terrified of being called perfectionists. They worship the idea of shipping fast and iterating later. Launch the MVP. Get it out the door. Improve version 2. And for some businesses, that works. But for businesses trying to dominate a market, Shokunin is the edgy, because everyone else is shipping mediocre products quickly. If you ship a perfect product slowly, you create a reputation that no amount of marketing can buy. People don't remember the first product in a category. They remember the best. Shokunin makes you the best. Here's how to apply Shokunin. Pick one part of your business, your product, your service, your customer experience, and ask yourself, is this the absolute best it could be? Not good enough, the best. If the answer is no, don't move on to the next thing. Stay there, obsess over it, improve it until it's so good that people talk about it. Then move to the next part. Shokunin doesn't mean perfectionism across everything. It means relentless excellence in the things that define your business. If you're a software company, your user interface should be Shokunin level. If you're a service business, your customer support should be Shokunin level. Identify your craft, master it, become known as the best. That's how you dominate. The fifth technique is Ma. It's the concept of intentional space, pause, or negative space. In music, Ma is the silence between notes that makes the melody beautiful. In business, Ma is the strategic patience to do nothing when everyone else is rushing. Western entrepreneurs are addicted to constant action. Launch faster, grow faster, pivot faster. Japanese entrepreneurs practicing Ma understand that sometimes the most powerful move is to wait, observe, and let the market come to you. That patience creates opportunities that impatient competitors miss. Nintendo is a perfect example. When the video game industry was in a race to create the most powerful console with the best graphics, Nintendo released the Wii, weaker hardware, simpler graphics, but they practiced Ma. They paused, observed what the market actually needed, and realized families and casual gamers were being ignored. While Sony and Microsoft fought over hardcore gamers, Nintendo dominated a different market entirely by waiting, watching, and moving only when they saw a clear opening. That's Ma. Strategic patience that looks like inaction, but is actually the most calculated move on the board. Most entrepreneurs panic when they're not moving. If they're not launching, growing, pivoting, acquiring, they feel like they're losing. But Ma teaches that stillness is a position. Waiting is a strategy. Silence is a statement. Sometimes the best business decision is to do nothing, let competitors exhaust themselves chasing trends, and strike when the moment is perfect. Impatient entrepreneurs build fast companies that collapse. Patient entrepreneurs build empires that last generations. Here's how to apply Ma. The next time you feel pressure to make a move, to launch something new, to react to a competitor, pause. Ask yourself, is this the right move, or am I just uncomfortable with stillness? If you're acting out of anxiety, stop. Practice Ma. Wait. Observe. Let the situation develop. The market will tell you when it's time to move. And when you do move, it will be decisive, calculated, and devastatingly effective. Ma isn't laziness. It's discipline. It's the hardest technique to master because it requires you to resist the addiction to action. But the entrepreneurs who master it become unstoppable. So let's recap. Kaizen, improve one daily until the gap is insurmountable. Ikigai, Filter every decision through purpose and eliminate distractions. Mottainai, treat every resource as sacred and eliminate waste. Shokunin, master your craft to a level that makes marketing unnecessary. Practice strategic patience and move only when the moment is perfect. These 5 techniques are why Japanese companies last 100 years while Western startups burn out in 2. They're not sexy, they're not fast, but they build dominance that competitors can't touch. Now tell me, which of these 5 techniques does your business need most right now? Are you spread too thin and need Ikigai? Are you wasting resources and need Mottainai? Are you rushing when you should be practicing Ma? Drop a comment and let me know. And if you want more frameworks that actually build long-term success instead of short-term hype, hit subscribe. Japanese techniques dominate markets. It's time you learned why.